We're back at the beautiful Monona Terrace right on Lake Monona as we're at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 20 along with the UFC's GM3 Gerald Mershart. I am Rich Reynolds and we are cage side for our one and only title fight of the night. It is the AMI title at 165 pounds. A couple of undefeated amateurs, both with a record of 4-0. We're taking a look at Shelden Slippery Struble, who, by the way, scored a victory against our earlier fighter fighting Phil Quinlan, who had a pretty impressive fight tonight, but Struble was able to dominate Quinlan back here in September. So Struble walking in had a unanimous decision against Quinlan in September and looking to take that strap tonight as Struble heading on up. He is first into the cage, and then we will take a look at Funky Bones Jones. Funky Bones Jones coming into the cage had an impressive victory against Kai Kelcher back in this very cage in September. A fight that maybe Kelcher was winning, but in the third round, Jones caught him in a triangle and got the win, and Kelcher's only loss of his amateur career, and it sets up this title fight between Jones and Struble. Everybody thinks it is going to be a good one. Two fighters putting their undefeated records on the line. The cliched someone's O must go. That will happen here tonight as Tyler Funky Bones Jones getting the once over. He's heading up to the cage, and so are we for the introductions from Ken Bostetter.
All right. This fight is for the amateur 165-pound strap. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 165 pounds. He's fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, and representing Chosen Few Gyms, Shelden Slippery Struble. And this fight is TNT Window Tinting is the main sponsor for this championship fight. Fighting out of the blue corner. He also weighed in at 165 pounds. He's fighting out of Chicago, Illinois. Representing Intercept MMA, the champion, Tyler Funky Bones Jones. Your referee, Tom Devo DeValis.
Always a little bit more excitement when there is a belt on the line, and both guys undefeated in this amateur title fight that is just about set to get underway. I know, Gerald, you got a big kick out of Shelden Struble's ink. He's got the classic mom tattoo, the heart that says mom on there. Something that you expect from like a 1936 Marine or something like that.
Some things stand the test of time, and that's one of them. And nice little trick play out from Struble there, and good job. He ate one leg kick, and then he's gotten right in, avoided the second one. I remember Struble fighting before, really high-level wrestling, hand fighting, really good riding on top. You know, Jones is going to want to stay on the feet, I would think. Right now, he's got a body lock, but again, Struble's got that far side headlock. He's got an underhook with his far arm and got really good control there. They're still dry, they're not sweaty yet, and Struble really using his weight really well, and I think that maybe won't finish this, but this is going to lead into another tie-up that's, you know, most likely going to lead to a takedown for Struble.
Again, Struble, we saw his grappling on display back in September against Phil Quinlan, who proved to be a pretty tough customer when we saw him fight earlier tonight. And Funky Bones, one of those guys who seems like, at least from what we have seen from him, is a guy that can get himself into trouble but just as quickly get out of trouble. He's pretty good at being able to reverse things, and that Funky Bones moniker kind of fits him as well. Kind of an awkward kind of fighter.
Absolutely. He's still dangerous off his back. You know, maybe lacks a little bit in the wrestling compared to his last two opponents, but again, you can finish the fight off your back. It's a beautiful part of MMA. You can be dangerous everywhere, and still he's doing a good job fighting off that body lock, landing a couple knees. There's kind of jockeying for position back and forth here, really, and Struble just trying to find a spot with the upper body where he can get a takedown, and Jones just doing a good job. Not necessarily looking for a takedown, but just maintaining control and wanting to maintain dominant position to land strikes and just not get taken down. Oh, and here we go, a step over. He got a body lock. Struble was looking to step around that leg and get an upper body takedown, but again, Jones goes to that high underhook. Again, not looking for his own takedown. He just wants to keep Struble pressed against the cage and not get himself taken down, which is the smart thing to do.
In a round like this, where just about a minute to go, a takedown could be the difference on the ref's scorecard to whether or not you win or lose the round. Now they trade blows, going back and forth. We also saw a knee there from Struble. Now Struble, a good left, another good left as well, and Jones is in trouble, getting driven back, and a good exchange there from both fighters, but Struble definitely got the better of it.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that Struble does well on the feet. Maybe not so much at range, but he blends his clinch wrestling well with his dirty boxing. He got in there up close. He landed some good uppercuts. He got control of Jones's head and then was able to land some strikes on Jones as he exited. And now we see Jones maybe got a little bit hurt there. He saw the leg and an underhook, and he's taking the initiative to get a takedown now. And we got Struble on a far side leg, and they'll finish it out just kind of at a stalemate.
So a very strategic, tactical first round between Struble and Jones. They're fighting for the title. We'll come back for round number 2 right after this on TVW. A lot of action in round number 1, as you see some of the exchange right there between Struble and Jones. This is where Struble started to get the best of it. A couple of good lefts that landed in there and drove Jones backwards. Yeah, he definitely was hurt, and that brought some excitement from the crowd, and also I think to the body language of Struble as he realized he got the best of that exchange. So Jones back up off the stool, and I'm not sure. Got a little bit of a red mark above that right eye. Don't believe it's a cut. He's got a little bit over the left eye as well, but right over the right eye, maybe a little suspect there as we get set for round number 2 of this amateur title bout.
And we see Struble kind of measuring the distance, just waiting to close that gap. And see, that's what he needs to do right there, is just get in there. He keeps getting stuck in this over-under position. He's really comfortable there, probably from years of wrestling, but this is much better. Go to the legs, try to get double underhooks, because especially in MMA, the guy doesn't have to wrestle back with you. And there, beautiful. Scoops the leg, gets a big takedown. Now he's just got to establish control, and right away we see Jones trying to look for a guillotine, just threaten something to get back to guard.
Excellent takedown there by Struble, and now both guys exchanging blows as Struble back into that top position.
Jones is looking for a triangle. So he's got his left leg stuck underneath Struble, but he was pulling that head down because he thought if he could get it free, he could get a triangle, but nothing going there, and now Struble's kind of in a solid half guard. He's going to look to establish control and get some wrist control down there most likely and open up for some ground and pound.
That triangle again is how he finished off Kalsher right here back in September. So Jones on his back again, dangerous from this spot. We've seen him win fights from this very angle, and so Struble has to be careful here.
Yep, so Jones did a good job there regarding. Struble had that head and arm control. He was opening up a little bit to pass to mount. Jones did a good job taking the angle with his legs, and now he's just working to control the posture, tie up the arms. You know, he could spin for an arm bar here or stuff an arm and go for a triangle as he likes to do, but now we see Struble just stacking him. He's trying to get pressure. He's kind of open to getting arm barred from this can opener position, but it doesn't look like Jones has enough room to move his body in a way that he could actually threaten something.
So again, a lot of grappling here in round number 2, just like we saw in round number 1. Usually pretty comfortable territory for Shelden Slippery Struble, and he's trying to keep that slippery moniker here and stay out of the range of Jones, who we know can finish a fight on his back.
So right there you saw Jones again, good wrist control and went for the triangle again. He's using his elevators pretty good here with his legs, and he's kind of getting Struble up and moving around, but Struble, using that wrestling background, he did a good job before keeping that upper body of Jones pinned to the mat, kind of preventing any real thing from happening. And now he's got that overhook, and he can open up with that left hand and get a little bit of ground and pound going here.
Yeah, that left arm got free as Struble able to use it to his advantage. Now using the right hand to tenderize the left side of Jones.
So this is going to be the constant battle for probably definitely this round and maybe the next round as well if we see Struble on top. Him working to pass and Jones constantly shrimping back into guard and positioning himself in order to throw up a submission.
As the final seconds whittle away here in round number 2, we will go to the third and final round in this title bout from Monona Terrace on TVW. Here we take a look at round number 2 and the big takedown there by Struble, probably the highlight of round number 2, at least it was for the fans. We'll see how the judges are able to score that one as we go to the third round. What do you think? First 2 rounds, how do you score them?
I got a slight edge for Struble. That first round, he did more damage and had the most active spot on the feet. And the second round, he was on top. It's kind of even, but I give the round to the guy in the dominant position, and that was Struble.
So Struble up 2-0 on Gerald's card. Again, unofficial. I actually have a judge in Gabriel Sabetis who's sitting right next to me. I'm not peeking at his cards, I promise. I probably should as he turns those in, but I'm not sure if that's allowed or not. So I haven't been looking as we go to round number 3. A left there by Jones, and Struble going right in again, trying to grapple with Jones.
So and here we see Struble again. Now he's got double overhooks. And he's just going to try and work to get an angle on Jones and maybe wizard kick, try to get him to the cage. And there, good knee, good space. But he just seems really comfortable getting that over-under position. And in MMA, it's a lot easier to finish takedowns if you can get both underhooks. Good 1-2 from Jones.
Absolutely. Nice boxing there. But then it's Struble who's able to just run right in, charge Jones, and take him down once again.
Yeah, so that was a lot better look from Jones on the feet. He was starting to open up, a little sense of urgency. That's a little bit dangerous. Now he's kind of opened himself into a triangle by reaching for the foot like that as Struble, but not in any danger right now. Struble's corner asking for him to stand up, make some space. Jones holding on to that arm, just trying to like work his legs up the back of Struble and open up some more submissions or possibly a sweep.
So a lot of what we saw in rounds 1 and 2 we are seeing again here in the third round. Jones, though, has his hands free and using them to hit Struble in the
so there he's
sides
on
of
an
the
arm
head.
bar. He's got a good angle. He's not quite deep on the arm, but he has the angle. His legs are in the right spot. Struble's in a little bit of danger. Looks like he might be deep on that arm, too. Struble's really got to stay tight. He's got to hop over the head of Jones to his right and circle, or use his other hand to pin the ankle of Jones to the mat to get his arm free. Now he's going to get flipped. He's going to be in that arm bar position. If Jones can lean back and separate the arms, this could be it.
So Jones, again, we've seen him get victories on his back and going for another one here. This one would include the 165-pound title. Struble trying to hold on, and Jones trying to stretch him out with his foot.
So there was a good battle in there. Struble before triangled his arms and was underneath the leg of Jones, preventing it, but then Jones adjusted, pushed the arm away, and now Struble got the arm out. He's going to roll through and probably get out of this. Jones is tight on that arm, but now Struble can stuff that ankle to the floor and get his leg in there. He's got a lot better chance of defending, but we're still kind of 50-50 right now.
A giant grimace from the face of Struble, who is definitely in a lot of pain, but is holding on here and fighting through it as we get the cowbell for the final 10 seconds. Struble able to get his arm free as we will go to the cards here to figure out who indeed will take home the strap at 165 pounds. You'll get that decision next on TVW. All right, Josh Sterry is in the cage with the belt as we are going to find out, is it going to be Struble, is it going to be Jones? Who gets the strap?
A round of applause for these two fighters. we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner and new 165-pound amateur champion, Shelden Slippery Struble.
Struble, the new champ, as he comes out on top 29-28 on all 3 judges' scorecards, and pretty much how we saw it as well. Let's hear from the new champ.
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. Can't complain.
Pretty excited?
Yeah, man. It's all glory to God, and just another day living in God's grace, man. Like, freaking, I don't deserve this.
Is this how you planned to work your fight? You were going to work your wrestling?
Yeah, that was the plan. Keep pressure on him, and I knew that'd take away a lot of his offense if I started getting on my stuff from the close-up pressure. Yeah.
How close was he to having the armbar there in the 3rd round?
He was fishing for it pretty hard, but he wasn't all that close. Yeah, no, he was maybe halfway there.
Halfway there. I noticed you moved position quite a few different times to put your weight on it. Good way to get out of it. You guys do that in the gym all the time, I bet.
Yeah, prepping for Tyler, we were doing a lot of sub defense. We knew he was going to throw a lot of stuff at us. So, hats off to Tyler. He's a great fighter. It was an honor sharing the cage with him tonight.
All right, well, it was an honor watching your fight. We got a new champion, ladies and gentlemen. Shelden Slippery Struble.
New champ exits the cage with a bloody nose, but will wear it as a badge of honor as he takes home the strap here tonight. All right, pro fights coming up next. We got 3 of them from the Monona Terrace on Chosen Few Fighting Championships, number 20 and TVW.